Cat and mouse vipers. Giant child-snatching vipers are terrorizing New Orleans, pulling children from their homes in the middle of the night in their eagerness to take on human trafficking in the city. Cat and mouse find themselves in the thick of it. Crime, action, drama with a smattering of superheroics. Now, like Roland Mann said, our head honcho here at Silverline, go do some backing, and we appreciate your support.
All right, welcome to another episode of Geek-men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I'm Zombie, and this is It's Frickin' Figures.
Yay!
How is everybody doing?
I know I'm here.
Pop's popping in early. Hey,
Yeah.
yo.
How's it going? Oh, boy.
It's been a hell of a week. I know I say that every week, but it really has.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I know what you mean. Dude, so I got to tell you a funny story. So I'm sitting there talking with my daughter, and my wife is getting ready to leave, but she has a stop to make on the way because she's giving a ride to someone. They work together. And so she just, Riley, my youngest, just deadpans, looks directly at me and says, "She's cheating on you." Just straight face, nothing. I'm just like, what? Gravy. I'm just like, okay.
Where did she learn that?
I have no idea. So then, of course, Pumara comes in. She's like, no, don't even think about it. It's not happening. Before she went to work. So it was just deadpan, straight face, no nonsense, just delivery just killed me. I was dying.
You let that girl watch The Office or something? What's going on?
No. In fact, we watch The Office when we're all alone, and so yeah, she hasn't seen The Office. She's picked that up from just, I don't know, random places. I don't know. What
that is
YouTube
funny.
Kids does to kids, I guess. But anyway. But yeah, so do you have anything in the box that you want to talk about? Or?
I do. I'll save the Uno reverse card for later. No. Yeah, I got so I'm calling it a birthday gift, a late birthday gift come in.
Hang on, let's see what this is here. Oh, dude. Oh, ATL.
I was waiting for that. Oh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. So again, my light's gonna wash this sucker out, but so this is the Toylanta show
Yeah.
debut version of ATL-25
Yeah.
Artillery Team Leader. So you know what's coming, right? They're gonna make more for this team here. He's all camoed out.
Yeah.
He's a combination of mythic and cosmic parts. If you're not familiar too much with, the figures, which some of you, shame on you, you haven't gotten any, and I know you haven't. Since last week at least, because I know Travis said that nobody's ordered anything. But if you remember from last week, this head that I got, I'm going to paint match this particular head
Okay.
to the skin tone on that figure to give him kind of that alternate head look. And then I also got in my order that I put in a month ago for Planetary Dog Toys parts. So
nice.
a meager order, nothing to write home about, but I had to get some more of these heads because they do that last call kind of thing where they're retiring heads.
Yeah.
And this is one that he's got that faceplate that lifts up.
That's awesome.
So I got that one, and then I also got another one of the characters that I have the unhelmeted version of.
Oh,
and
nice.
I got there's another visor. They pack them with this little stuff in so they don't get crushed or whatever. But they always do good stuff. It's planetarydogtoys.com, and it's not what it sounds like. I know it's a funny name, but they also give you like freebie prints of certain things. If they have anything that's like got a slight defect to it or whatever. And this one was one of the freebies that they packed in.
Oh, geez.
So this Medusa looking kind of, man,
That's
that leg's
wild.
just, yeah. And I honestly, I can't really find anything wrong with it. There might be like one little spot on it that's not like, and it's in the back. So it's like, I don't know. I'm struggling to find what's wrong with this print. But no, they also have this dwarf character that whenever you place an order, they give you one of his pieces. So there's a head, there's a torso plate, a couple of pauldrons, shoulder armor things, and this big ass wrench. And I didn't know it came in two pieces, but it is a pretty clever design. It plugs in.
Oh, nice.
I'm not gonna plug it in all the way because I want to paint it first.
Yeah.
But I mean, this thing, it's like a little fucking wrench.
Yeah.
Look how big this thing is. I mean, it's a sizable print, dude. And then here's the torso armor.
Oh, nice.
So those are kind of neat. So again, these are always little freebies that they toss in with their orders right now. And what they're doing is they're permanently retiring their inventory for mythic and cosmic and all that other kind of stuff. And they've got some wonderful pieces still available. Let's see. Was there anything else?
RPJ checking in. How's it going?
Hey. No. That's pretty much it. I opened up my Sir Gideon, and he had a little accident. Something was wonky with his foot, and I'm trying to find. I can't find the pieces, but his feet, I had to put a mismatch. This one's one of the old feet.
Yeah.
And that's the new foot. Like his right foot, like it just snapped right off. Like,
oh geez.
Oh man, I was really anticipating this figure, and it's a great figure. It really is. It is. But here it is. So I got like the pieces in a baggie.
Oh wow.
But yeah, you can see that peg's broken off in that foot.
Yeah.
But the good thing about it is, Full Horsemen, they're really good with customer service. If something like this breaks, you can contact them, and they'll usually, within reason, send you out a replacement part for it. So I did go through those channels. I got an email from them today, and they said, "Hey, sorry that happened. We'll try to get the replacement foot out to you as soon as we can." I know they're dealing with a lot because they just wrapped up that whole campaign for the dragon, which I'm going to touch on a little bit. I'm not going to go as extensive as I did last week. I know people are probably tired of me talking about it, but No, that
well,
was
you know, geez.
that's pretty much it this week. It was kind of a light week. But what about you? Did you get anything in, or did you open anything?
Well, I did open. Let's see if I can move this here just slightly. There we go. I opened Claudus, Lionel's daddy, and his elbow's frozen. Can't move it at all. But that's something I just still haven't had a chance to work on yet. And his wrist is really loose, and it just sort of it doesn't seat properly. It's just it's still like really loose. It's weird. But so anyway, I don't anticipate him needing to move and do a lot of, dynamic poses. So I currently just have him sitting on my desk and sort of having his hand on Lionel's shoulder like this. So just, nothing too dynamic.
The Sears family photo dad special.
Right. And I mean, yeah. So it is what it is. Haven't done anything else. I don't think. But
so I'll give you a little teaser of something I'm working on though.
Ooh. Nice.
So this is not the original color of this head. Originally it was like a pinkish purple.
Yeah.
So if you're familiar at all with any of the cosmic stuff, you'll recognize this head color.
Yeah.
So not quite done. Almost, not quite. I got to work on the weapons. Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. I got to work on the weapons for the character that. And this is just the bonus head. This isn't even like the main head for what I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like, yeah, by the way, if you've got a bunch of those and you don't have one of these, here you go. Because that's what I do whenever I make something. I usually try to put in something a little bit extra in with it. Any of the custom work that I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be a completely free head like that tossed in with the whole thing, whether you're buying a bunch of head prints from me or a custom figure that I've made or whatever. There's always a little something extra in there. Just FYI. Oh man. Oops, I didn't close that box back.
Well, so
what, shaking bacon?
Yeah, I mean the Horsemen had a marathon apparently.
Yeah. I'm gonna let's put a pin in that because I'm gonna do something I usually don't do, and I'm gonna share a custom. And let me queue up who this was that made this because it came out left field for me. I saw it. Okay. Was it today? Yesterday? I don't know. One of those days. One of the days that ended in Y. I saw it and I was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome! I have to share this."
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I credit this person. Okay. And I purposely didn't bring up share screen because I didn't want you to see it ahead of time, Dustin.
Oh, you silly goose.
It's just one of those that's like, oh, when you see it, you'll know. You'll know. All right, there we go.
Should I just add stage?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, add.
Oh, nice.
So this is a Mythic Legions version, kind of a tribute, if you will, for the original Megazord for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's actually really cool.
In the Facebook group, Mythic Legions Cabal. It is. It's really well done. And the guy's name is Hector Edlin Quintina.
Okay.
Quintina. I don't know. Whatever. It's it's awesome. I'm trying to credit you. I'm sorry if I butchered it. You'll probably never see this.
Bravo, dude. I mean, that looks really cool. It's even painted like all the parts directly. Like,
yeah,
the the dinosaurs and all that stuff. It looked really cool.
I thought it was
Yeah.
very clever.
Yeah.
And let's see, I have a couple of other shots here too. He apparently printed the sword.
Yeah, okay.
Because in his post he was asking if anybody had a particular there's this one style of sword that came with a lot of the dwarven characters or whatever, and he's looking for that sword. So I don't have a spare one, or I would have said, yeah, dude, no, I'm just give me your address, I'm shipping this to you. But yeah, so everything is made from Mythic Legion's parts except the sword. And that's
Okay.
why he's looking for a Mythic Legion sword to go with it. Because he wants it to be 100% Mythic Legions. Which, it's funny because there's a lot of people that do these tribute type customs.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what they can pull off with like actual official Legion's parts, whether it's cosmic or mythic at this point. Because they've seemed to be able to mix them, much like with the figure that I showed for what's in the box. Even the horsemen are getting on the mixing and matching from, between cosmic and mythic, which that was kind of the whole purpose.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's nice to see them actually doing something with it. But this custom, I just had to share it because it was just too cool. If you grew up in the 90s and watched Power Rangers, you're gonna appreciate this one, I think.
Is there any other shots of the shield? Because that looks really interesting, like how they managed to do that. Like I'm guessing those are the horns.
Yeah, those are horns that usually go and plug into the helmet or whatever. But if you look off down on the table, you can see the sections that he cut off of the shield to to get it to that shape.
Yeah.
So the shield is supposed to represent the head of the Mastodon. There's there's no trunk part to it or whatever. But still, it's like that homage look. So you totally get it. You know what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I mean, I always considered like it would just curl around essentially. If you were actually going into battle with a mastodon head.
Yeah, no, it was hardly ever shown in use in the show or whatever. But I thought you'd appreciate this one especially.
Yeah,
it's a really cool custom.
Yeah, it's very cool. I did not think of that. Of doing something like that.
It's awesome to see what people could come up with because I didn't see that in these parts. It's amazing what people are coming up with some of these figures as far as, tributes and homage kind of nods to, the looks and everything. And this kind of thing helped create an actual official tribute figure that the Horsemen, it's about, it's going to come out probably this year. And it was the Buzz-Off tribute figure. It's going to be included in one of the cosmic waves.
Yeah.
I forget which one. I know it's one of the Ox Crew waves. I just don't remember if it's I don't think it's the first wave. It might be the second wave.
Yeah. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, it really is because they all blend together and time starts to, blur those lines of what's included with what or whatever. Anyway, this was cool. I had to share it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely dig it. Man, I'm still tripping. Like, that's really cool.
It's really well done,
Yeah.
And I appreciate how it's got like a little battle damage on it, so it's not pristine.
Mm-hmm.
I like that about it too. So.
Yeah, and that's something that you rarely saw unless it was like the very end of the episode or something. But that's really cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to dive right in. Everything got funded.
Yep.
Everything. Like even the new figure that they tossed in right at the end.
Yep.
Baethir's Fury or whatever they call them. It all got funded. And I'm a little shocked. That last day, they really they really sold over 1,000 units of
Mm-hmm.
just the main dragon itself.
Yep.
And I was amazed by it. As a matter of fact, by the time it ended, they were just shy of 5,000 sold.
Wow.
It's crazy. I never would have thought that it would have gotten that far.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I remember like Corn Boy was saying that he thought they would sell a few hundred dragons, and that would
yeah,
be that. But yep, no, they totally blew the water out of that. So
way beyond
yeah.
expectation, I think. So yeah, you got the I don't know how far I'll be able to go here, but that Ashen Zombie and
Mm-hmm.
Skeleton and all of their extra parts,
Yeah.
the Molten Knight and all his extra parts, Sir Vinegar there, closest to the dragon. Everything's going to come with him, even the soft goods. But then you've
Mm-hmm.
got that golden boy right there in the middle. They caught a little heat, I think, from the community when they first revealed that figure because it wasn't. And this is why I don't like showing teasers of stuff that I'm working on, especially if the lighting is not right. They caught hell for him because it looked really dull and really lackluster. And they're like, okay, look, this isn't everything that's going to come with him, and the lighting ain't right. It's like, I know you're excited, but maybe you should have waited until you got good studio pictures.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing those photos too, and I thought, I was like, huh,
I was
that
very underwhelmed.
yeah, it was very underwhelming, but
Yeah. But here's one of those shots, those studio shots with the better lighting and everything. And I can
mm,
confirm. So if you have like the elf Legion Builder, the gold elf Legion Builder from the Advent of Decay wave, it's essentially the same color gold. They did kind
mm.
of a side by side shot, and I don't have that picture. It I probably do. I just didn't queue it up because I was like, yeah, well, whatever. Either you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. This is one
Right.
of those types of figures that it's not for everyone. Um, I'm still kind of on the fence about this one. I don't know. I was not a fan of the original Gold Knight Legion builder way back in Wave One.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to me that much gold on a figure. I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I hear you.
but here you see everything that he's going to come with. No soft goods. They didn't do any soft goods for this one. But again, I hate to call this one a Legion builder, but the way that they've included all these different accessories, you can give him multiple looks. So if you
Mm-hmm.
can get your hands on multiples of people that get it and don't want it and turn around and sell it, you can have kind of a squad. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rubbing my nose. My allergies are really really way out of whack right now because our weather here is just crazy.
Yeah, I hear
So
you.
so I apologize for the sniffles and the itches. I can't help it. No, just real quick, I'm gonna go through some of his looks. But yeah, again, this is the loadout that he's gonna come with all of his accessories. And again, those the shoulder armor there with the wings, they're not supposed to re-release those, so they were only available during this campaign.
Mm.
But I got a feeling we're gonna see other figures with similar color schemes in the future. So
Okay.
even though this guy has a bunch of different parts, and you're probably thinking, well, if I can only get one and I've got all these other parts that I'll never use because I'll pick a look in a combination that I want on him and keep him that way, what am I going to do with these other parts? Trust me, the horsemen are 10 steps ahead already. I'm sure they've already got at least two other figures with the same color scheme in different body styles, different parts that these parts will seamlessly fit together with because they've done it in the past.
How far off is, say, like why am I forgetting this dude's name? This guy.
Oh, Magnus.
Yeah, Magnus. Thank you. How
So,
far off is the paint from Magnus, you think? I mean, because I don't have one of those elf knights that you were talking about.
I think Magnus, the gold on that armor, is probably going to be a little duller
Yeah.
than what we see here on the Beathir's Fury Knight.
Mhm.
This gold is going to be just a tad bit richer, I think. Which what they usually do is, especially now, they're trying to kind of streamline particular shades of colors for the different factions that they've created.
Mhm.
Like there's characters in another faction. Because okay, let me start over here. Magnus is in the army of Laodiceus, and
Mhm.
there's other characters in the army of Laodiceus that have gold on their armor. But then you also have the what is it? The Eartheron faction. I
Mhm.
can't remember the name of that one. Like Sir Gideon here, he's got gold on his armor, but it's a
Yeah.
much duller type of gold. Like
Yeah.
the one for the army of Laodiceus that they use is a little bit richer, and then here this one is richer even still. It's got more of that glow to it, I guess. I don't know how you describe that.
Yeah.
So even though a lot of
The
other
words are
factions,
not with me today.
yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I'm stumbling myself. Even though there's gold, accents or armors in some of the
Mhm.
other factions of their story, they differ slightly from each other.
Yeah.
But don't let that stop you. I mean, you don't have to follow these figures by faction. If you
Yeah.
pick and choose which characters you like, you can totally go like D&D style, like put your own faction together and your own adventure party or whatever. Maybe you
Yeah.
like this figure and that figure and that figure, and they don't make any sense together whatsoever in the story of Mythic Legions. But for you could totally do whatever you want with them, and you can put those characters together, and they're in their own adventure party. That's the fun of this line, is you don't
Yeah.
have to follow their rules that they put in place. Buy what you like and put them together on a shelf. Call them whatever you want.
There you have it.
Yeah, this is just one of kind of, I guess, like the main like combination of parts, the main build that they kind of showed off.
Yeah.
And he's got those the winged helmet kind of adornments. But this is the one that I think I prefer this look for him. With
Yeah.
the horns, those new horns. I don't know. That's cool. A great pose too, with all the stuff there.
Those are the same horns on the
Sir Benegar,
mm,
the green one that came
yeah,
in this
maybe.
campaign.
No,
So
this guy, whatever his name is,
hang on. Let me swap. I'm not on. Okay. Oh, Demistros. It's very
Yeah.
similar. Very similar. There's a lot of parts that look the same in this line, but they're a little bit different. They're different enough to where, so like, let me explain the figure that you just held up. Demistros is kind of an alternate build for another character. Name escapes me right now. He's like this red demon guy or whatever. Those horns aren't they're not the typical type of plug-in for like a helmet or whatever, because those actually have their round, and it they plug in and you can move them around and everything. The horns on that figure that you held up, they're glued in place, and
Yeah, they're definitely.
they're keyed in to where there's like a specific shape, and you can't. They don't swivel. They don't move around. You're not supposed to pull them out. You
Right.
can. You can pull them out. I know. I've done it. It's not pretty. You're basically tearing up your toy if you do that, unless you're doing it for a particular reason, and you need those horns on a different figure and you're customizing or whatever. Yeah, that guy. That's the original version, the original colorway and everything of that particular character. So, but yeah, they're very similar,
Yeah.
and they do look the same. I don't think these have those same curves as that particular head. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely the same style. They may
Yeah.
have gone in and tweaked that that sculpt, in ZBrush or whatever, so that
Mhm.
because this definitely is. Let me backtrack a couple of pictures here. Where is
Yeah, because they were it was laying out on the table.
yeah?
Yeah.
So if I go to this one, yeah, go to this one, and then is it going to zoom? Yeah, there we go. So if you look, this one, they're a bit rounded
Yeah.
because they will plug into any of the ports on.
That helmet style.
Yeah, my these helmet ports, any of
Yeah.
the ones like that, which that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
It was definitely a thoughtful design.
Yep.
But then again here, a little bit closer look. Again, very similar type of sculpt and everything on it. So yeah, I like those horns a lot better
Yeah,
than
for
the
sure. Me
wings.
too.
But
A
then
lot
they
better
have,
than the smooth ones that they
oh
have
yeah,
on cast lines.
yeah. But then all those
Figure.
little face plates that you saw in that other picture, they
Mhm.
plug into this chainmail head. And there's a whole reason behind like the silver face. That's like a mask. I'm not going to go into it. That's a whole lore type of thing that they want
Yeah.
to do. But they've got, I don't know, 3 4 different faces now that they can do this with, and this one's going to come with 3 of them. That's one of them there. This is one. This particular face is supposed to come out for the All Stars 6 Plus. That's supposed to be coming next after the Necronominus, because it's kind of like a Necronominus plus wave. So while this one's not out yet, it is coming out.
Yeah.
And then come on, load. This one is that like that Sir Elijah faceplate,
Okay.
painted silver. Sorry, my computer is really lagging. And then here they are, Sir Benegar in green on the left, and Beathir's Fury in gold on the right. You can see they do share that similar type of shield, dragon shield kind of thing there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Oh boy. Sir Benegard definitely looks so cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
That's
I would
one that I'm
expect,
sad I'm missing out on.
yeah, so not only are the shoulder armor with the wings not going to get reused, that head is not going to get reused either.
Good.
That's unique to this particular character, which is kind of a shame. It really is a really cool head sculpt.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that keeps it special, and there's things like well, okay, y'all probably wouldn't understand this, but there's things in like Magic the Gathering that they release a card and they say they're not going to reprint it, but then it like gets reprinted a bunch of times and later on, and it's like it tanks the value on the card. So it's like it's just it's unfortunate, but you know it's going to be a great figure. So yeah, I'm
I would
glad
expect,
that they're trying to say that they're not going to use it again. I'm sure they'll probably use it again in the future.
I would expect that the aftermarket price on this one is going to go through the roof.
Yeah,
Because
most definitely.
that is just a fantastic looking figure. That green armor. I've got a couple of the really old knights with that
Mm-hmm.
green armor, and it is a really fantastic color. These pictures, as great as they are, they just really don't do that color justice.
Right.
I'm having difficulty trying to just figure out what to compare it to, but there really isn't anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say because even oh geez, I forget his name. He was all green.
I know who you're talking about. Again, that name. They have these
like the Roman type soldier, and even the tree dudes that I'm forgetting.
So there was a dwarf that they made in the very first wave, and that's, if it's not the same green, it's very close. So the other figure that you're thinking about is actually a deeper green than this is. It's almost like a metallic forest green on him. But yeah,
and those are the only green figures that I can even think of.
This particular color is very reminiscent of what they use on a lot of the Xylona's flock characters.
Yes,
it's like a metallic, like I don't want to say lime green, but that's the only thing that I can think of right now. I'm reaching. I'm sorry. I'm going to move on from Mythics though. So, but yeah, congratulations to Four Horsemen for a well fought campaign. It was interesting to see. I had no doubt that at least the base stuff was going to get funded. I had no idea that it was going to surpass all expectations on the stretch goals, all the unlocks.
Yep.
Just everything. Well done.
Yeah. And I'm excited that you got yours. Yes.
I did very begrudgingly. I wasn't going to say anything actually, but since it's out there now, I had to finance it, so I couldn't just buy it outright. So I'm going to be paying on this thing for a while.
Yeah.
But all things considered, I knew if I didn't find a way, I was going to regret this for a very long time.
Yeah.
This was something that I could not pass.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was a little bit of a birthday miracle that happened that kind of allowed those first steps for me to be able to do it. So that's all I'm going to say. Hell no, I'm not going to repaint my dragon because I'm only getting one. Now, if somebody out there has one that they would like to commission me to paint, I will consider it, but know that it's going to be a monstrous process.
Undertaking, and good grief,
great. It will not be cheap. This thing, I kid you not, is a monster. We're talking a dog-sized dragon.
Yeah.
That's going to take a lot of paint.
Yeah, not to mention like painting every inch of articulation on that tail. Like that's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. No, there's a handful of people out there in the Mythic Legions community that, you had mentioned the marathon that they had done. So they did like a 24-hour marathon style live stream across multiple shows that are Legions themed, heavily Legions themed. And on one of them, a gentleman by the name of Curtis Ackerman posed the question, if you're getting multiple dragons, who's customizing them? Who's going to repaint them? And unfortunately, I was not able to participate on that particular show because regardless of opinion, I do have to sleep sometimes. And that show was during the time I was going to be dead to the world because of my work schedule. So I politely declined the invitation that he sent me. But I told him he better tell somebody out there that's getting multiple, there better be a color shift dragon. So there's that. But yeah, no, Jonathan, no plans right now to repaint one. I'd love to. Don't get me wrong. I would love that challenge. I would love to get into painting the larger style stuff. But man, I have difficulty finding somebody that's capable of printing really good quality, large scale 3D prints for me to even do it.
Hey, Jess, how's it going?
Hey, Jess, how you doing? Better late than never. Yeah, no, that's all I've got to say about that, I guess.
Fair enough.
I'm going to move into something that I think you're a little excited about here, Dustin.
A little, maybe.
A little maybe. Listen at you.
Yeah.
So Mattel is doing this thing where they're kind of making this mashup of Masters of the Universe and Thundercats. How do you feel about that?
Some things I'm excited about it, but in other times it's like I wish they didn't do that in particular.
So again, something like this isn't going to be for everyone.
Right.
You don't have to have everything, and it's okay.
Yep. I will say they showed some pictures this weekend of like the Thundercats in their straight up Thundercat themed like looking gear, and I thought that was really smart of them for sure to display like, hey, you can get the classic Thundercats look on each of these figures, without the Motu twist. But yeah, so I don't know. Like I'm excited about it a little bit because I mean, these are figures I'm hoping that'll be more affordable than the stuff that I'm currently in. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to maybe get one or two of them.
For sure. And the price point on these for the basic figures is actually around $20. So, with the deluxe versions, which I'll get into here in a little bit, is actually more like I think 30.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of a less of a punch to the gut than I think, the $50 range from Super 7.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're getting what you're getting. This is very much done in the same style as those Masters of the Universe. What is the name of that damn line? I should have looked that up.
I know, right? I cannot think of it
Not
either.
Classics. Is it Beginnings? Is it?
No,
I don't remember. Look it up, Dustin, while we're talking. But yeah, so here's kind of one of those looks that you were talking about without all the Motu gear, except for the vest. That vest, the chest harness, that is removable, as is that belt. Yeah. That belt's removable too. So, any of the little adornments and stuff that you don't want on there, you can totally take it off, and you've got a basic Lino figure.
Is that Origins?
Origins, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Origins. So this is done. That's right. It's done in the style of the Motu Origins. So if you're familiar with those figures, how they feel, how they move, this is pretty much the same thing. It's just kind of a mashup, which they've done before with the Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
I don't have any of those. Some of them look pretty good, but it is what it is.
Right. I think you definitely have to like see what they are and then just go in being like, okay, yeah, this is okay. I know what I'm getting, so I'm okay with that. Like this, I think is really cool.
Yeah, this doesn't look bad at all. Here it is with some of the parts swapped out again for more of a Masters of the Universe kind of look and feel to it.
I would personally rather the fur be like a red. Well, maybe not red.
I can kind of see where you're going with that, but I'm kind of glad they didn't because the hair on his head is red.
Yeah, that's why I'm second guessing.
Redact that.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure the carpet matches the drapes, but we don't need a physical representation of that.
Right. Oh. But I mean, I feel like there's another color other than white that could be even just straight up brown. I think that would be fine.
Yeah, but maybe. I don't know. The white doesn't really bother me all that much.
it looks jarring on like Chitara a little bit. But I mean, I do like how they have the harness, and I like that sort of omens. But I mean, you know,
Yeah. And here is a kind of a shot of the loadout that he's going to come with, all of those
yeah,
interchangeable parts and everything. So,
yeah. So like the tan on his boots, on his Motu boots, I think
yeah.
if it had been that kind of color or similar color, I think that would have worked. But
Well, that's an easy repaint away for you. You know,
yeah, I
I
probably
don't
won't.
think the white doesn't really bother me all that much.
And it may grow on me, but yeah, just looking at it, it sort of is like confusing a little bit. It's like,
See,
huh, weird.
for me, this is just I'm looking at this at the potential of the parts that he comes with,
Yeah.
because I'm so tempted to make my own versions of the Thundercats using the Mythic and Cosmic Legions parts, and I just might do it. And if I see these in the store, there's the Sword of Omens that I could give to Lino. I don't have to search for a print or an older toy or anything. There it is, right there.
I had a sword picked out already for my version of Lion-O in Mythics, and both in dagger form and sword form. So I'm set on that. But yeah, I agree. This is definitely a nice potential that just to actually have the Sword of Omens instead. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, depending on the type of the quality of plastic or whatever. If it's flaccid and I'm like,
right,
yeah, I might just try to find somebody that can print me one then.
right.
Nobody likes a flaccid sword.
That's what she said.
Or he said.
But yeah.
So yeah, another of the characters is the Chitara that you had
Yeah.
mentioned.
I think she actually looks really good.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree for what it is. It's not like some high end collectible thing or whatever, but I think they pay homage to respectfully the origins of the looks to some of these characters like this, and this one does it really well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I almost like her better than Super Sevens Chitara.
Oh,
which is almost blasphemy, but still, regardless, I do in essence it, but I don't know. Still,
see this
that
type
is
of
so
thing.
awesome.
Yeah, I dig this a
Yeah.
lot. I think they did really well with this design.
Yes.
With the armor, and this is totally giving me Red Sonja vibes from the movie from the 80s, the live action movie from the 80s, with the headgear and the way the hair looks in it, and just the armor on her. I'm like, oh my God. That's, but again, that's me looking at it as potential of what it could be instead of what it is. But for what it is, I think this is a really cool design for Chitara.
Yeah.
Blended into the Motu universe.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely dig that. And I mean, I think Panthro's my biggest issue.
Yeah, we'll get to him.
Wave.
We'll get to him.
She just looks great.
Yeah, she does. This one's definitely probably going to be hard to find.
Yeah.
Because we all know girl figures don't sell. They're not popular. Whatever. And then I do have a shot of here of her loadout, what she's going to come with.
Yeah. I do find the hair piece interesting, how it plugs in. Hey, Grey Wolf.
Yeah,
how's it going?
and they did the same. They did the same with They did the same with Lion-O. He's got that additional hair plug-in piece. But not only that, it's those lower legs too, which is interesting. I don't recall Mattel ever doing anything like this with any figures before, where they've got a completely swappable body part like that. Usually the body is what it is, and the rest of the pieces you build on that. So that's interesting. They did the same thing with the Lion-O figure. They got a couple of different shins that you can swap out. The fur with the wrappings don't really bother me all that much. I kind of like those.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. When you look at it like from here, and it's just so different from her classic boots that it takes you a moment to get used to it. But yeah, I like it. I do.
I almost prefer the fur boots on both her and Lion-O as opposed to their classic streamlined looks. It's always been a gripe of mine for the Thundercats, especially Lion-O, because they look like wrestling suits, like those suits that wrestlers used to wear back then. And I totally get it. That's probably the whole purpose of that design. But it never sat right with me. That always bugged me. I don't
see they change it up in the comics, and I prefer those suits over the classic 80s suits. But again, that's in the comics, and we still don't have an exact roadway or even path like to, yes, we are going to make Super 7's going to make these suits, etc. So it's like,
well, we kind of got it straight from Brian that's alternate versions aren't going to happen until they run through the library of the classic characters from the original show. So we got a ways to go. All right, I'm gonna hop over to the next one here. So here we have Battle Cat embracing his Thundercat side.
Mm-hmm.
I think this might be, and I could be totally wrong, I think this is the first time we've seen Battle Cat in figure form in this anthropomorphic humanoid form. I can't remember if there was a classics version. This isn't something new. This is something, it's been done by fans countless times, fan art, custom figures, all that kind of stuff. Hell, even the Horsemen did a version based off of some of their parts library.
Mm-hmm.
But this might be the first official version of Battle Cat like this.
Yeah. As far as I know, I mean, in the in Freddie Williams comics Thundercats He-Man crossover, they did have Battle Cat actually take hind legs form and leap to protect Lion-O and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool.
Huh.
Well, I'm not sure if he was leaping to protect He-Man from Lion-O, or if it was the other way around. I'm not sure at this point. I forget. It's been a while since I've read that comic, but
interesting.
Still, it's fun. I do like this. This is probably
I like
my favorite figure in this wave.
It's really well done.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept his armor pieces faithful to that classic kind of Battle Cat armor design as well. So that's a nice little touch too.
Yep.
Let's see, where am I at here? Yep. So doesn't really come with a whole lot compared to the other figures or whatever, but I would assume the rest of that armor is removable as well.
Yeah.
It looks like it's an overlay.
Yep.
Whether it's supposed to be taken off or not, I couldn't tell you if it's glued down or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be weird for him to try to somehow transform back into a cat. So once he's up, he's there. Like, I don't know.
Once he's up, he's up.
Yeah.
And
I dig it though.
Not to be outdone here by
Yep.
the heroes. We get our first villain in the line, and it's interesting. They did kind of this mashup of the name. I think it's like Skelraw.
Yeah, Skelra.
So
I was just about to say, like, wait, what
yeah,
is that name again? Yeah,
so
no,
it's
I dig it.
and it's so here is Skeletor. He's got kind of some of those nods of Thundercat-ism.
Hmm.
I'm coining the phrase Thundercat-ism. The cape and
Yeah.
kind of the garb there, and you see the sigil of Mumra there on his chest, and there's good reason, because you can kind of swap parts around and make either
Hmm.
version of Skeletor or Mumra. I gotta
Yeah.
say, I probably like Mumra a little bit better than the Skeletor design.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I do like how they did this figure. It's probably, I'm definitely going to be buying it. I'm
Yeah,
hoping it to at some point. I just need to see it.
it's a solid looking version of Mumra.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I like how they have his cape. It's all like flowing out, like almost like wings. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and it's reversible. So the side we can't see right now is that darker color that we saw on the Skeletor version.
Hmm.
And I almost want to say the way that his mummy wraps that are on him right now look, it almost looks like they might glow in the dark because they've got kind of this translucent look to them.
Yeah, it looks like they do, but they probably don't.
I don't know if they've come out and
It's,
said.
I
I
haven't
don't know.
seen the. I
Yeah,
haven't
but
seen it.
it just kind of it has that look to it, like that might glow in the dark. But this is that deluxe kind of price point I was mentioning. This one's going to
Hmm.
be $30 as
Yeah,
opposed to 20 for the other characters.
it's
Um,
weird because the geez, what is it called, the other Motu inspired.
Skelegod.
Yeah, Skelegod I paid 30 for that too. So it's weird. It's like it's only been a few years and the Skelegod form is still the thing we're praying for this way. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's your loadout of what he's going to come with. All of us bits and pieces, bits and
Hmm.
bobs, and then of course the other side of it with all of the other parts taken off and swapped around and everything.
Yeah.
This is one figure, so you're not getting. It's not a 2-pack.
Yeah.
Uh, you can make either version, whichever one you prefer. Now, if you want both versions, that means you got to buy 2 of them. Um, but that's up to you. You do what you do. It's your money.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it is just one figure. Um, Here is a shot of an inbox. What we're going to be looking for here.
Yeah.
So that is the Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats.
Hmm.
Zoom in a little bit on that box. Really cool box art.
Yeah. It's a combination of the two. It looks
Yeah.
so cool.
So that's your basic figure box, and then of course I'm going to show you what the Skelraw looks like.
Mhm.
That's his box. That's what he's going to come with. That's what he's going to look like. That's what you can use to hunt. If you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing. I definitely want to grab these up, but it just depends on money
Yeah.
situation. So
And these are probably going to be available at all major retailers,
yeah.
unless you do, shop online or whatever.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of online places I'm sure are going to have these. I don't think any of these are exclusive. I haven't seen anything about anything being exclusive yet.
No.
But
Yeah.
yeah, if I was a betting man, I'd probably say Target's probably going to get these first. It's going to beat out Walmart. That just kind of seems to be the thing that happens. Target gets stuff first. I I saw the Jada Toy Street Fighter figures at Walmart the other day, and I'm going, what? I can't believe I saw them there. I'm going, I didn't even know Walmart was going to carry these. Crazy. And those are some really good figures I hear too. I hear a lot of good things. But yeah, so that's wave 1 of the Masters of the Universe Thundercats mashup line. Wave 2 was announced, and I'm going to show you that.
Yeah.
So first up, He-Man, of course. Yeah, I don't have too many pictures of these, so you're just kind of going to get that shot of what they're going to come with. But yeah, it's interesting. If you look at his sword of power, it's got the Thundercats symbol on it, and it almost
that's the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm sure there's a reason for it.
It almost looks like they combined the Sword of Omens and He-Man's power sword of power, whatever it's fucking called. I don't know what.
It's the Sword of Power. Yeah.
So, but one thing that you pointed out to me when we first saw these pictures is the helmet that He-Man comes with. He comes with that 2000X style Battle Cat helmet, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
I
thought that was definitely a cool aspect to tie into it.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna get He-Man in wave 2. Here is a look at Tigra from wave 2 as well. Ooh, excuse me. It's interesting. His armor is translucent. So instead of him being translucent, we're getting translucent armor for him.
Yeah. I like the armor. I almost kind of just wish it was just regular armor, but I'm sure, once it's on him, it'll look.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't like it translucent green for whatever reason, I'm sure there's some type of story reason for it. You could always paint it if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Somebody out there is watching. Oh yeah, this guy, he's just saying he can paint it. Hell, I can't paint. What the hell are you talking about, man? Well, find a buddy that can paint. I don't know. Pick up a paintbrush. Anybody can paint. Just don't use oil-based or enamel paints. Okay. And a lot of that is also spray paints. Don't go with spray paints. There are acrylic spray paints, but they're a little bit more expensive. Not everybody's going to spend the money on that type of stuff. Acrylic paint is where you want to be for repainting anything. If you hear me talking about repainting stuff, acrylics are the way to go. So, and don't just buy the cheap stuff. You'll regret it. And then last but not least, we have Panthro. And I have a bone to pick.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you do as well. What the fuck is up with his arms? He's got these exaggerated, extended forearms for some reason. It just looks strange.
Well, supposedly you're supposed to have a different arm piece that goes on it, so that way you can plug in the I don't know, Ram Man or is it? No, not
Man at Arms.
Motu. Yeah, and Man at Arms. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was blanking. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it'll look better with the other armor on it.
What is that thing right here? Underneath the Man at Arms sort of the mask thing.
Kind of. I'm assuming that's probably a part that fits on his arm.
Okay.
Because it's roughly the same length.
Sure. Yeah. Right. It just looks so crazy. I don't know. Like the arms are definitely the thing I'm not a big fan of. It's like,
this one's kind of a miss. But again, I'll probably if I'm going down the route of making my own versions of the Thundercats, like I said I might, that the torso stripes with the spikes is the only saving grace for this figure for me that I would be able to use.
Mhm.
It's this one just does not look that good to me.
No. Yeah, I don't
And,
know.
it,
I'm
and it's a
not a
real
huge fan.
shame.
It is because Panther is one of my favorites.
Oh
And
crap! I don't know
when
what
I
you
was a
just
young
said.
boy, everyone
I,
knew Panther was my favorite. So
I just split my screen into 4, and I don't know how I did it. And now all my tabs have disappeared.
oh boy.
So there's that. What did I do?
I don't know.
Oh my god! I can't even touch anything. My computer is freaking the hell out tonight.
Jeez, it was.
How do I get my stuff back? It's I'm like doing things that I don't know how to do on this computer, and it's freaking out on me, and I'm freaking out a little bit. I have no idea where my stuff went. I don't know how to get it back. Okay, wait. Whatever, I just did something. I don't know what I did. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm moving all kinds of weird stuff around. How do I? Okay, nope, I did it again. It split
Jeez,
into
it was.
4. I'm looking at 4 different screens right now. What the heck? Okay, seriously. How do I get?
I love it when you hit the invisible mystery button and on the
I
computer
know.
and don't know how to undo it. That
I
we were
know.
just talking about that earlier before the show.
I know. I was
Just
trying to get it. I was trying to set it up, and I'm like, what the hell did I do? Pre-show's always screwy. Okay. I don't. So I grabbed the tab and I'm moving it around, and okay. I got everything back. Fortunately, this was the last tab that I had to share, so I've got nothing after this. But I couldn't do anything. I couldn't close nothing because it was so
yeah.
screwy. It was so messed up. I still don't know how. And I did it twice. That's what's hilarious about it. I did it twice, and I still don't know how I did it.
Okay, so hang on. Is this a mask above the Man-at-Arms armor?
Probably. Okay, let me.
Because I was just trying to think, like,
Hopefully, I
maybe.
don't screw this up. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
looks like a mask.
it's a mask or a crown of some kind. It's definitely headgear.
Yeah.
I apologize for the quality of the picture too. I couldn't find any with really good resolution, so they're kind of blurry.
Yeah. They all were.
So this piece definitely for sure that fits over, I think, his left arm. And if you look down here at this plug,
Yeah,
it's got
that's where the
this thing. That's where these plug into, these 2 top things here, the mace
yeah.
and the axe. So
Yeah, that's why it's so long. I don't know. I would almost rather have it be another, like, his left arm situation on the other arm. Like, it just and
well,
for his arms to not be so freaking long.
I can see why they went that direction with his left arm, is because that's the armored arm on Man-at-Arms,
Yeah.
which this is clearly a nod to, kind of a
Yeah.
mashup of the armor styles and everything.
I don't know. Looks weird, but am I gonna buy it? Yeah, probably still. if I come across it, I'm probably going to, just because I want to.
You addict.
Well, I'm not an addict per se.
Yeah, we all are. Let's face it.
I just like cool stuff. That's all.
No, these are fun little, figures
Yeah.
to mess around with or whatever.
I will
they're
say,
certainly not high end collectibles.
no.
If you want that, there's Mondo, if that's your preference or whatever, and then there's still all those great older classics figures that are out there if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, these are just kind of fun little hand candy figures to have around, mess around, play around with. So
For sure. I mean, they definitely seem like a lot of fun. And I'll say I prefer this mashup as opposed to the Motu Turtles mashup. I was excited for that, but I didn't really like any of the figures that came out. I mean, they looked fun, sure, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not as attached. I don't know. Who knows? But there you have it. Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm going through making sure I didn't forget anything or miss anything. Because I was scrambling pre-show because there were like 40 something tabs.
Well, I'll clear this real quick. Let's see. Nope. I want to go back to the thing so that way I can share it. Okay. So earlier today, my buddy Chris Brown launched a campaign for his Slaughterville stuff, and it funded within 2 hours.
Wow.
So congrats to him. And
yeah,
this
congratulations.
this is just it's the same world that we're playing the RPG through, but this is like a board game type thing. Yeah, it's a cooperative card game for 1 to 6 players, and it's so much fun. They have these little different dice and things like that you can play and roll, and each location has a deck and all this cool stuff. And it looks a lot of fun, and like I said, it took off, and it really, blew away everything.
Wow.
It was pretty awesome. And so yeah, it's gonna happen. So you're gonna get it no matter what. And
so what do you search for on Kickstarter? How do you find it?
Slaughterville.
Slaughterville.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Chris was a great guest on my show. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he was. I was trying to think. I was like, wow, has Chris been on yet? Yeah, it was fun. We had a lot of fun. This is the same dude that made Escargot. It makes this world, and it's just Escargot and this board game and the RPG we play on Thursdays. It's all connected, and it's just a good time. So if you're interested, get yourself on this. Where to go? Dang it. Let's just do this, and I'll. Nope. There we go. All right. So, if you're interested, check out the campaign. Back you some. Get you a nice, cool board game, and yeah, we're ready to do it up.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe all the Madness Network shows blur into one. Yeah, you're telling me. I'm glad that we stand out for you for sure. But they do blur.
That's how my days are. They just kind of blur together.
Mm.
I have to stop and think and like look at the paper calendar. What day is it?
Right. Dude, all day today I kept thinking it was like Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've got a few missing days myself.
Mm-hmm.
I need a constant reminder.
Yeah.
I need that robot butler now.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. But so
since we're sharing stuff, I wanna bring up Omega Level again. So
okay.
You guys, he's still got a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool figures, and it's still on sale. Yeah, head over to omegaleveltoys.bigcartel.com. It's simple. He takes many forms of payment. He's pretty quick on shipping. Go buy some cool figures. I know nobody watching bought anything last week because he told me so. So y'all are caught lacking. I'm serious. Go get some cool toys. They're fun.
Yep. They are fun. Join the dark side.
You're not going to find a better price right now. Trust me. You can go to
sure.
Big Bad Toy Store all you want, but I'm telling you, compare them prices. Omega Level Toys has got it cheaper right now. Trust me.
Yep. That they do. That they do. Oh boy. But
any interesting shows coming up, Dustin?
yeah, we got some stuff coming up. Thursday we'll be heading into Slaughterville, so come watch and hang out with us as we do. We don't really interact too much with the chat because we're trying to be in an immersive world at the time. So, but it's so basically you just come, say hey, let us know that you're watching and enjoy, like basically. So
sit down, shut up, pay attention.
Right. And then so we're doing a tribute to Val Kilmer this week, and we're going to be watching Tombstone and The Ghost in the Darkness. So that is going to be fun. So he says, ordered from Omega Level Toys a few times. Great store. Definitely place an order again soon. Very nice. Very good.
Hey, man. Thanks.
Yeah. So, all right. That's all. That's all we have, folks. Hope you enjoyed, and support Omega Level Toys. Support these indie creators out there. We're just trying to bring you a good product, and kudos to them, right? So, but until next time, have a good one. Thunder Nerd Toe.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends, catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic, bright.